Welcome to Today I Work On, and today I'm gonna tow to Hyperfest, which is in VIR, my 2021 Sprinter van with the Turbo 4 diesel. Now this is not the 2500, it's the 3500, so I do get an extra 2,500 pounds. Most of the Sprinters tow at 5,000 pounds, but the 3500, even with the Turbo 4, will tow up to 7,500 pounds. Now, just to let you know, between my trailer and not the Viper, but my S2000, I'm gonna come in around 5,000 pounds. So the only difference I think from talking to some people about the Sprinter is we have a different drivetrain and maybe a beefier suspension. So that's what gives me the extra 2,500 pounds. But right now, I already installed my trailer hitch. Now that trailer hitch is the one that distributes load evenly, so I can get to that 7,500 pounds with, if you watch the tow hitch video, that tow hitch only does 5,000 pounds with no weight distribution hitch. With the weight distribution hitch, I get up to 7,500 pounds. So I do have it. I used it for my Escalade, so I didn't have to buy it. I already had it here, so I put it on. And now I'm gonna move the Viper out. I'm gonna unload that, and then I'm gonna bring the S2000 out, put it on the trailer, and I'm gonna see what happens. So let's get working on that. First cool option this Sprinter van comes with is, check that out. It has like a little yellow line that lines you up to the trailer hitch. So, and then it gives you a little red circle on where the trailer hitch goes. So this van's ready to tow. So I'm gonna hook it up right now, and that's the first cool feature that I like about this van. So let me see how close I got to the trailer hitch bowl, to the actual trailer. Well, would you look at that? I'm like, that was my first shot. And that is like perfectly lined up. So that camera, I give it 2 thumbs up. That was a very flawless execution, and now I'm gonna drop the trailer hitch. All right, everything went on pretty well. We got about 3-4 inches of room. I think that's plenty. So I put the sway control on as well as the weight distribution hitches, and it looks pretty good. So next up, I'm gonna pull out the van and then unload the Viper. So I'm loaded up, we're ready to go. I'm excited about this because it's new technology. These, from what I read, the 3500 and 4500, the V6 is going to be obsolete in a couple of years. So this right here is the future. This little turbo by Turbo 4. I heard there's 2 little turbos in it, so I think it only puts out like 160 horsepower and like 250 foot-pounds of torque. So it's really not that much power. And I'm ready to leave. I got to pack up a few more things, and then we're gonna get on the road. And then I will video my first impressions on how I pull out of my driveway, because it's a little bit of an uphill. So let's get working on that. Well, the first thing that shows up when I connect it to the trailer is it says blind spot assist trailer not monitored. So it realized it, because it's Mercedes, it realized that I hooked up to the trailer, which is really good. And then my electric brake is also working. So far so good. So that's what you'll see if you have blind spot assist. This Mercedes has all the options, as my wife would say, and I just wanted to show you that. So let's move everything forward. First impressions, as soon as I left my side roads and I got on one of my secondary roads, I gunned it. Now, isn't my truck? No, it's not my truck, but the acceleration felt fine. Do you know what's really good? The brakes. These brakes are like, they're so much better than my Silverado. I just tap lightly and the van brakes with the trailer no problem. I do have the brake trailer on. I think I got it on the Tekka Nasha. I got it set at 4. So maybe I might bump it up a little bit more, but it feels, I'll bump it up to like 4.5, but it feels fine. All right, so I'm accelerating now. And it feels good. So I just hit 40 miles an hour. It's not like it's not super fast, but it's doing the job. I don't feel much difference between with the trailer and without the trailer, which to me is kind of mind-blowing. So I will, if I have any other thoughts, I will during this. It's actually, the trip is 246 miles, so we'll see what happens. Update on the ride in. So I have covered 132 miles. My miles per gallon is 16.1. My average speed is 47 miles an hour, and I have the cruise set at 76 miles an hour. Now I have the adaptive cruise on, so I know some of these vans don't have the adaptive, but let me tell you, what a dream. This adaptive is like beautiful. It's my first vehicle with adaptive cruise, and I totally recommend it. It's making this trip way easier, and to be honest with you, I love this purchase. I was a little hesitant because I was like, 4-cylinder, can that really tow? And I wanted this to tow as well. Even though I'm going to use it for my work van, I'm going to pack it out. I am impressed. Now this is the Turbo 4, this is the 176, the 170 wheelbase Sprinter 3500, 8-speed manual with the bi-turbo 4-cylinder, and kudos to Mercedes. How they make 161 horsepower work, I don't get it. Now if you go on Facebook on the Sprinter forums, like what are Sprinter pages, they kind of like rip the 4-cylinder a little bit, but and that's why I was super hesitant to buy the 4-cylinder, but I had faith in my German engineers, and they are not letting me down, because the braking's amazing. The acceleration is okay, but I don't even think the V6 would be great, because the bump up in specs, it's like nothing. At the end of the day, it's like really nothing. So I will say this, I would take this van anywhere in tow. I'll go down the road Atlanta, I'll go to Watkins Glen, it doesn't matter to me. I am so comfortable right now. I'm truly impressed by it, and I hope this video will give the people that are like stressing out over the V6 or the 4, I hope it gives you an answer. So I have nothing really else to say right now. I'm at about 3,200 RPMs, and I'm going up a little hill, and it feels fine. It feels completely fine. I'm going around 70 miles an hour, and I'm going to turn the adaptive cruise back on. So I will recap when I get to VIR, and the only thing I wish I had some gauges on like my trans temp, and just see where it's at. I'm sure it's fine, but I don't have those options. I would probably need like an aftermarket system to let me know what all my temps are. But again, German engineering, it's usually overbuilt, and it's so far a flawless execution. So I'll recap the Sprinter tow when I get to VIR. Made it to VIR. We had 249 miles, 4 hours and 41 minutes. We ended up losing some gas mileage. We went down to 15.3 miles per gallon with a 53 mile per hour average, and I'm kind of a little surprised at that, because later on in the trip I had no traffic, so maybe I lost some sort of draft from cars or something, because I mean the van is big, obviously. It's the extended, it's the high one. It's really high, I could walk in it, obviously. So I'm just waiting in line now to get, I guess, all my credentials, and that's it for this video. I I have nothing else really to say other than I recommend the 4-cylinder bi-turbo. It'll just do just fine. The only place that it struggled a little bit was up a pretty steep hill, and I was at 50 and it dropped down to 49 for about 30 seconds, and I went to gun it and nothing happened. It maintained the speed, and I also had it in auto. So if I put it in manual, I maybe would have dropped the gear down and picked up that mile per hour I lost. But other than that, it was a comfortable ride, and I feel fine. So that's my video on the Sprinter van, and if the 4-cylinder turbo can tow. Thanks for watching. If you like these videos, please like them. And if you like all my videos, that I'm gonna do more Sprinter van videos. I have to build it out and do a bunch of other little things to it. Please subscribe. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.